everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight at the Wine Down.
It's the Wine Down. Woo!
And with me, as always, is my lovely co-host, Adam.
Thank you. I'm Adam at the Wine Down from sipsay.com, which is Sip and Say Craft Wine and Spirits in Merrick. Check us out.
Definitely check them out.
And this is Jen next to me. How are you today?
I'm good. I don't own a liquor store.
But you drink like you own a liquor store. That's why we get along, because I drink like I own a liquor store.
That's true, and you're very good at it, I might add.
I'm good at the drinking part, especially here on the Wine Down.
Absolutely. So we're just getting right into it. What is this?
You may know this or not, but it is Passover in a week or a week and a half.
That's what's the big Is that New Year? No. New Year's Rosh Hashanah.
No, this is bread not leavening and Jews leaving Egypt and a celebration time of a new start.
Oh, wonderful.
A new start. So
I love that.
We have a very interesting white wine that we're drinking tonight. The name is called Yamish, just to get into it. We're going to do a little wine, a little story tonight. How we doing? What we've been up to? What's been going on?
It's been a while, and I know that today's a different day. We usually do this Monday. So for our drunk
Today's
friends,
not Monday?
Today's not Monday.
Oh,
I know.
My God, where have I been all week?
I know, and it's been so dreary too. It's bad for the brain. We've had terrible rain, and in fact, you've had something quite interesting.
It rains in my glass every day.
Every day.
I had something interesting. Lots of interesting things happening. What would you like to talk about? This delicious wine.
This is actually, I don't like white, and
this happens to be from the island of Cyprus, which is right next to Greece. There are Jews there too.
There are Jews in Greece?
This is kosher for Passover, people. We are getting ready for this holiday like nobody's business.
Is there a Greek Passover? Like there's a Greek Easter?
There isn't. They celebrate everyone worldwide. And the grape here is called Zinisteri. But it's one of these words that starts with an X, so you're not really sure what you're supposed to do there.
Like a zinnial.
But Zinisteri Yamas, similar to Sauvignon Blanc, just very crisp and delightful.
And some bubbles. There's like a little bit of bubbles in there,
a little bit of nice freshness to it. Yeah. Really making us think of spring and all of the delightful things that happen once we pass over through the end of the month.
Yes, absolutely. And it's so good that it's going to be spring. It has been raining like crazy around here. We had an earthquake.
We had an earthquake.
As you guys know, we had an earthquake. And on Long Island, I felt it. I was really proud of myself. I grabbed my daughter, went under a threshold. I handled it well. But like I said, I lived in California.
I have no idea what you're talking about. When did this earthquake happen?
It's probably happened when you were in the car.
I don't know. I felt zero earthquake.
So
what was it, a 2? You guys lived through a 2?
It was like a 4.8, I think they said. But
4.8? Oh my gosh, child's play.
California's. So Adam spent some time in California.
They don't even lift a finger like that anywhere else. Come on.
It was pretty cool though. I was in the house and I'm like, that's an earthquake. Like, not panicked. I was just like,
that's
wow.
amore.
Yeah, that's an earthquake. But we did have an earthquake, and then we had the solar eclipse.
Solar eclipse? When did that happen?
Eclipse. Oh, crap. Was it Sunday?
It was Monday.
It was Monday.
I'm
sorry. I had the glasses, and it wasn't a big deal for me.
OG glasses.
Now, you had a crazy...
I cannot believe that many people produced those. I mean, I guess people bought them, but...
People bought them, and apparently there's a place you can send them to in, like, another country that's having a solar eclipse.
Oh, see, that's what I wanted to hear here. How to recycle these glasses, because I've never seen so much waste than all of these glasses.
I work from home, and when I was like, I'll go outside for a smoke and check it out. And I went outside, and I put the glasses on looking down, and I'm like, what, am I broken? Because, like, it's all black. I'm like, what did I get, like a bum pair? This is ridiculous. And then I looked up.
You can only see one thing.
It only is good for the solar eclipse. Like, who makes a product like that? Like, just for the eclipse?
Yeah. What do I do with it after? I can't fry an egg with it.
You can't do nothing.
It's going to melt.
It's going to melt. No eggs to be fried.
No eggs to be fried.
That egg, not fried. But you had an amazing solar
I
eclipse
did.
situation.
I went to a wine tasting for people that own liquor stores, and drank some really nice wine. And I was planning to miss the eclipse and just go home and get a bite to eat and forget that there was something that was actually going on in the world. And
As is usual.
as is usual, I
As
was
is
in my own
tradition.
little world. But they provided glasses, and we went outside, and I was pretty toasty. And then they promised us dinner afterwards, which was superb
Sick.
because we were at some delicious Italian spot in the city, something provisions. Really delightful food, delicious wine to drink, lots of things that'll be showing up week after week over at Sip and Say. Lots of delicious finds. That's what I do. I go out there and try to find wines that nobody's ever heard of before so that I can fill everyone's liver.
Well, that's my favorite part about Sip and Say is that everything, and I say this all the time, it's curated. So from $10 and up, every wine that you get, Adam has been like, "This is good. I will drink this. This is delicious." So you won't find a bad taste in the house. But be careful behind Sip and Say. What is developed
Oh,
due to all the rain?
due to all the rain, Lake Siponce.
Like Saponce. That was Cindy, right?
That was our good friend Cindy
so
coming
cute.
up with some good puns.
Yeah.
So,
I got caught in that.
Siponce, yep.
I
yep.
got caught in up to my. I was
it-
barefoot near a liquor store.
You were barefoot. I threw up my back just trying to step over a puddle. So,
Be careful back there.
be careful back there during the rain.
I just can't believe I was like in your store just completely barefoot. Like, whatever. It's a comfortable store.
Thankfully, it's a clean store.
It is very
a very
clean,
clean
very
store.
clean.
So shout out to
Mom.
for keeping the store in good faith.
Yes, in very good faith. And speaking of things that are white, OJ got arrested. So all the white people rejoiced. Because I can't tell you, one of my first memories that I remember, like, in my life would be me in kindergarten. And I remember very vividly leaving kindergarten, and we didn't know what happened. But everyone was talking about it. And I'm just like a kindergarten kid. I have no idea what's going on. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's guilty. Because that's what you hear from everybody was that he was guilty. And they're like, no, he's not guilty. And I was like...
I remember the
Mind-blown.
chase.
Every time I see a Bronco, I always
I
like,
remember
it should
the
be a white
chase.
Bronco.
Like, parents were out at dinner. I was home, bored, watching TV, and what was on this chase?
Did they, like,
on
go-
every channel?
They put it up. No,
oh,
what-
of course.
What was he? Was it after they found her murdered that it was? The
I
chase?
believe so. I'm a little fuzzy on the
And how is he
on
not
the
shot?
timeline. It's OJ.
It is OJ.
He was in the Naked Gun movies.
And I believe he coined, "I'm not black, I'm OJ."
Is that orange?
Huh?
Oh, different. Oh.
Different. I'm not. But he say, "I'm not black, I'm OJ."
Oh.
But
Anyway,
yeah,
we'll miss
he's
him from the
gone.
Naked Gun movies.
I
First
did like
Leslie
him in-
Nielsen, now this.
Oh, Naked Gun was.
Take a minute.
Breathe in. How many movies was there? Two.
Three.
There's
Three
three?
terrible movies.
There's
but they
two
were
and a
so
half,
great,
and
yeah.
then
And
there's-
then 33 and a third. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you,
Good
OJ.
stuff. Anna Nicole Smith was in one of them too.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah, we learned a lot. We learned a lot.
we learned a lot growing up.
It was good.
And
Thank you, OJ.
Thank you, OJ. And I always think Anna Nicole Smith is actually like an idol of mine. She's like, so
Oh, yeah?
like she's iconic.
That's good.
She's iconic. The Anna Nicole Smith show, the Anna Nicole show is so good. I own all that on DVD, and I just, she deserved the money. She put in the work.
She put in the work,
She
absolutely.
put in the work. She deserves the money, and the fact that she didn't get to see it is upsetting. And then all the terrible things that happened after that. Ugh. We're just losing so many celebrities these days. And now, what good fiasco lately that hasn't been like completely distasteful? Like that was a good old fashioned murder. OJ, like
Yeah.
good old fashioned murder mystery.
Yeah,
Now
lasted for a
everything's-
good amount of time. That'll end up on Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, but now everything's Epstein Island and trafficking and it's horrifying. But like a good old murder.
I feel like he's probably happy, though, that her murderer is dead now. I feel like that was like a good win for, for humanity.
Yeah, they were saying that Khloe Kardashian must be really upset that her dad died.
Yeah, that we wouldn't know any of those people if it wasn't for her OJ.
That is true. It is all.
So that's pretty trippy too.
Think about everything that OJ has done.
Yeah, it's like NASA.
He's like the ground zero for so much. For so much. Anyway, to OJ.
To OJ.
I guess. So yeah, that was.
Wow.
This is delicious.
It's delicious, right? But we're going to go into our next wine because we're talking kosher for Passover, and we're trying to have some fun at Passover. It's not just about finding the matzah for $5.
Is that a thing?
That's a thing for the children's.
That sounds gross. Oh, it's like I think the Catholics do like find the pickle.
Oh yeah, I'm more curious about find the pickle than find the matzah.
I'm Catholic and I didn't know about that, but my husband's family does it, and at first I was like, "Is this like a creepy uncle?" Like, what did you mean?
That does sound like a creepy uncle kind of,
but no, it was
kind
like
of activity.
An actual ornament that you like put on the tree, and whoever finds it, they get to open their gifts first. So the kids like to cheat beforehand and go scout the tree out.
I've never heard Jesus talk about this before.
It's kind of like how he omitted the whole bunny situation.
One of the quiet stories.
The quiet Jesus pickle.
Yeah.
Well, because Jesus was in a pickle.
Shit. Yeah, yes, he was.
He was in quite the pickle.
Yes,
and now
we
celebrate with pickles. I don't know if any of that's true. Don't quote me on any of that.
It sounds right. Sounds right.
Sounds good. Sounds real. So our next wine.
Back to the Passover
story. Back to the kosher wines. And we did want to say also, I've had kosher wine before, and it's usually disgusting. So this is amazing to me.
We're looking forward to drinking these beyond Passover. These are summer favorites ahead in front of us.
And let's say you're like, you know what? I Gewalt, I like to be kosher all the time. He always has kosher wine.
Most of your food is kosher, especially supermarket items, so you'd be surprised.
What does that mean?
It means that someone has paid attention to the production of it, and someone, of course, that's Jewish, that's made sure that things are cleaned properly and that there's not cross-contamination of ingredients and just making sure everything is done properly.
And a rabbi
no additives. There's a little blessing. Sure, there's a blessing. Of course, there's a blessing. Blessings on blessings. A blessing on blessing. Listen, anytime someone gives you $100, you say, "Oh man, this person's a blessing." Same sort of thing is happening here. So everyone gets a blessing. Everybody gets off the way that they need to. Well, the rabbi gets money, and the other people get their certifications. And that was a certainly interesting way to go about it, but that's what we do here on the Wine Down.
We take you down that
show
path.
You the alternate path, which is why we're about to drink some J-Folk Pinotage, which is the name of the grape. We just had this Zinnis Terry. Now we're having Pinotage from the land of South Africa.
Ooh, the land of the drum.
Where there are also Jews making delicious wine everywhere in the world.
Who would have thought? They stay coastal, though.
They know what real estate looks like.
They do.
They know what real estate looks like. So yeah, another delicious wine here.
I like how it says from the raw, untamed beauty.
Absolutely. It's South Africa.
That's so sensual. Cheers.
Cheers.
I can hear the drums in it, like boom, 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 boom. That is somehow dry and sweet at the very same time.
Nice and flavorful and balanced, and so there's some fruit and some flavor.
There's a lot of fruit. You know, it's not sweet, it's fruit.
Little coffee, maybe a touch of cocoa.
There's a lot going on in the back of your tongue there.
Yeah. It is.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
And that's kosher.
And it's kosher.
Huh. What a mitzvah.
What a mitzvah.
What
Cheers
a mitzvah.
to that. So it's funny. As I'm reading the back label here, you learn a lot about the back label. Front labels are all decorative. But you learn a lot about the back label. Of course, alcohol, which is 13.5. It's vegan, so that's good. That'll appeal to vegans out there, even though no wine has non-vegan material in it. But we need to have it on the label now because that's a thing.
I was about to say, like, what wine? Maybe like some gelatin.
Maybe.
Huh.
But the most important word here is this mavushal one.
Mavushal.
That's a fun word that you see on some kosher wines, but not on all of them. This says non-mavushal.
Oh, what is mavushal?
So technically, at this point in time, it's telling you that besides from going through all of the other kosher practices, they also flash pasteurize the wine, which again kills nothing that's there, but it thinks that, or the Jewish Union thinks that that's a cleaner method of further making sure that the wine is pure.
Kind of like passing it through a mikvah.
Something like that, sure.
I'm using all the Jewish words I know.
It has an interesting history, though. So now it's, ultra kosher in a way. But its history is that long ago, back when Jesus was turning water into wine, Jews were making their own wine. They knew what they were doing somehow. Someone taught them. Maybe it was Jesus. Don't know. The Jews thought that they were making better wine than everybody else, and they didn't want other people drinking their wine. So they would joke around, "We cook our wine, you don't want it."
Oh.
And for the longest time, many people thought Jewish wines were actually cooked, and maybe they were, maybe they weren't, but now we're doing ultra pasteurization, so that instantly, whether it cooks, whether it doesn't cook, it is making our wines more pure to enjoy for everybody.
It sure does sizzle, baby.
It sure does sizzle, baby.
Sure does sizzle. No, that's actually really good. It's a nice dinner wine, for sure.
This is going to be perfect with the brisket. Can't wait for that brisket.
I think I'm going to try to go to your house for Passover.
That sounds exciting. Let's announce that to whoever's listening.
I think I'll be at Adam's for Passover this year.
We have to give you the true meaning of Passover.
Yes, which is wine. Manushevel.
Manischewitz.
No, I'm not
No,
drinking
oh,
that.
Mavushal.
Mavushal.
Mavushal, yes.
I will drink Mavushal wine. But yeah, very exciting.
Passover's a celebration. Celebration. Just like Easter, right? Easter's a celebration.
Yeah, I think.
You're happy he's back, or no?
No, you're super stoked. But then, he's gone again, but he, opens the gates of heaven.
Where does he go?
To open, body and soul, to open the gates of heaven.
Oh.
Duh. You know that also Catholics believe in transubstantiation.
Can we say that?
Transubstantiation. It's a long word. But what it actually means, if I ever pronounce it right, is that when you get the communion and you get the wine, we actually are supposed to believe that it is transformed into blood and body. Not a symbol. We're not a symbol. Transubstantiation.
Transformer crackers, huh?
So you're not having, the Eucharist is the body of Christ. Just throwing it out there. Just weird beliefs that no one really thinks about.
That nobody asked for, but here it is.
And here it is. Nobody asked for it, but here they are. So I heard you went to the doctor recently. What's going on with you?
You gotta go to the doctor every once in a while. Get a little checked out.
Yeah, true. Make sure, the muffler's good.
I actually said to the doctor this morning, it was a typical physical. I said, I'm having some problems with my short-term memory.
Okay.
But I don't remember what they told me. Figured I could call if I remember to do that tomorrow.
None of us are gonna remember that.
But here we are in the wind down and our glass is empty.
Oh, that is an issue. Yeah, I don't know. It's been so, I gotta tell you, since the eclipse and everything happening, I definitely feel a little...
Oh, yeah.
A little funny, right?
Yeah, it's such good energy after the eclipse.
Is it good energy?
First part of the year, fuck you, eclipse happens.
Fuck you.
Back behind us.
Everything behind us now. All the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Behind us. And I mean, that's great. Oh, I did want to talk about, I coordinated a charity fundraiser.
Oh, that's nice. We like that.
As I'm apt to do. On April 23rd, between the hours of 5 and 9, make a reservation at Garden Social in East Meadow. You can make a reservation on Open Table or you can call Garden Social. It's from 5 to 9, so make a reservation between those times. And Garden Social has a wonderful owner who never wants to be named. He's absolutely phenomenal. And he's going to donate a percentage of the profits to Barbara C. Wilson, a school for children with autism, which is where my daughter goes to school.
That's excellent. We hear that's a delicious restaurant to
It's
check
a
out.
beautiful restaurant. So we are so excited because A, we get to eat. B,
Food's important.
Yeah.
Food's important. Hopefully there'll be wine there.
Yeah, it's Autism Awareness Month. So it's important. And you know, like autism awareness. 1 in 37 children are diagnosed on the spectrum these days. And it drives me crazy that there's not more accommodation and more understanding. So come on down. So again, Garden Social, April 23rd, between 5 and 9. Make your reservations. Go to opentable.com. You can make your reservations that way. You'll eat, you'll drink, and you do nothing, and the kids make money. So come on down. I will be there. Come say hello to me. I'll try to get Adam there. He probably won't come, but we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
We will talk
if there's
about
wine
it.
there, will not come.
They have a great wine and liquor. So that's a big deal for us. The wine and liquor.
That's true. Good food, good wine. Maybe I will show up.
Good food, good wine. Because recently we've gone to some bars. I know you've gone to see me do some shows and things like that. And we get stuck at the bar because we're not snobby. We're just not well people. You know,
we're not snobby. We're bougie.
We're bougie.
There's a difference. We know what we like.
We do.
And nobody else has what we like.
No one has it. Why not?
So
bars, could you stock Saint Germain? Like, do me a solid? Do you
a solid. And some non-old man gin would be great.
Oh,
that's all I ask.
Even I like Hendrix.
I'll deal with Hendrix if I have to.
It's got the botanicals.
Please no more Sapphire. Please no more Tanqueray. No more Beefeater.
Just push them to the side.
Do us a favor, please.
Please. Thank you.
Otherwise, I'm gonna continue to bring my own gin to places.
Pay a pop fee for gin.
Sure, no problem.
Whatever. Here's $20. I just don't want to drink your
Stop pouring me your trash.
So we've come up with a drink recently that we really like, that we've talked about before, and nobody's has it. I went to a wedding recently and the bar was like mid, and I thought I was replicating the drink, but in fact I was making a debauchery of it. So typically we do gin, soda water, elderberry. Elderflower, Saint Germain.
It's probably the same plant.
Probably the same plant. You can throw a little plant in there.
I feel like it's the same plant.
Super refreshing, super easy drink. We love it. I thought I was making my own by mixing gin and Absolute Citron and simple syrup and soda water. Yeah.
The Absolute Citron, the part that you're leaving off of that is that ends in vodka.
That is vodka. Yeah, Absolute Citron's vodka. So I'm drinking gin, vodka.
Yes.
And soda and simple syrup spritz. But I was fine. Like, I feel like I made it through just fine. But yeah, it's getting harder and harder to have to like order. So we would love to know everybody's favorite drinks and what you order at the bar, because I'm out of ideas at this point.
Yes.
I'm out of ideas.
Yeah, that's why, we're doing that.
Yeah, because I'm out of ideas. And I'm a pain too. If I'm like mojito, I want it strained.
No, you're not going to get a good one of those just about anywhere.
A good mojito? It's tough unless they have like the sugar stock.
Unless they're planning for it.
Yeah, they have to be it has to be like a Cuban restaurant or something.
Mm-hmm.
And even then,
terrible. That's why we show up with these delicious kosher wines. Ready for Passover.
Ready for Passover.
Or whenever you feel like drinking them. So, down on your glass here. We're going to move on to our third fun wine, which is called Lovatelli, is the producer. And the name of the grape is Nebbiolo. Nebbiolo, an Italian grape.
That's a fun color.
From Italy.
That's a fun color.
And yes, that's really good to notice that it is a lighter color than our last one. It's more of a
more transparent
red
too, yeah.
A clear red than a dark black or a dark purple. But yet we're still having this wine last. What does that tell us?
I don't think it tells us a damn thing.
Usually we like to go from a light to a heavy. First sip. Down the hatch. Speechless. Speechless. A little bit more body than we
Lot of
would
body.
expect
A lot of bite. To me,
from such a light color.
it is such a light color, and it has such body. I guess that's to do with grip. Like
tannin.
I think it needs to breathe more.
It does need to breathe more. That's why we need to
up.
keep drinking it and swirling it and drinking it and swirling it.
Because whenever anything has like that Robitussin twang, I'm like, it needs to breathe. It needs to breathe. I mean,
nothing I love more than that Robitussin twang.
Give you that Robitussin twang.
Oh, I hate when these medicines change the flavor. Like, bitch, we've been good for 30, 40 years. Now you're gonna flip the flavor on me.
Or take out the good ingredients.
It did us just fine.
We were good with it.
We were good with it. You did not need to change the recipe.
You didn't, and you did anyway. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Mm-hmm.
And now they put all the good stuff even like behind the counter.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a shame.
Not doing that. Can't even trust ourselves.
Nice and chewy for its lightness, which is why again we're doing a light to heavy here.
It is like a bold kick. It's a bold kick.
It's a bold kick.
It's a bold kick. I enjoy it though. I mean, it'd be good with some steak.
Yeah. Listen,
I could eat steak with this.
That's a nice Passover touch.
A little Passover steak. Don't want to pass over that steak. Very exciting.
Very exciting. Learn the story of Passover, and we're going to drink some wine.
That's always what we do.
Talk about the wine down.
Robitussin twang.
Robitussin twang. Yeah, really growing now. That
it's blooming. It's blooming. I feel it.
Gives you that first grip and then just pulls its way into you.
So if I was a Gentile and I wanted to go to someone's Passover, what would you recommend that I bring wine-wise, as well as a little,
one of these delicious wines, perfect for Passover.
What are the price points on these?
That's a great question.
Isn't it?
I believe they're all $30.
All right. And what if I was going to a really I want what is the kosher wine equivalent to Dom Perignon?
For kosher for Passover, believe it or not, there isn't one.
Oh.
We all take it's a little bit extra of a process to get the kosher for Passover on certain products, so we're really just we're focused on good wine for Passover.
All right, yeah, no, and that's incredible because, as I've said before, I've had Manischewitz and stuff, and it was always so gross that I was like, oh no, I just won't do alcohol. I just won't do kosher alcohol. But it's good to know that you can stay kosher and still catch a buzz.
I will bring all of these for everyone else to enjoy for Passover. I will drink Manischewitz the whole night.
Why? Do you like it?
I love it.
Why?
It's the wine I grew up on.
Is it nostalgia?
Yeah. It's the wine I grew up on, and I love the taste of it, and once a year, it's the best thing that I've ever drank.
I'll try it again.
It's terrible. You're going to hate it. Everybody else at the table passes theirs back to me, and I am so happy.
Really?
That I'm just enjoying everything.
What does it taste like?
I drink this the rest of the year.
Oh, what does it taste like?
They tell me it tastes like grape juice with alcohol, but I don't like grape juice, so I have no idea.
So that's something interesting about Adam. Adam doesn't like grapes or berries, and he's a sommelier.
Or most fruits.
So he gets all of his fruit from
wine, which is where it should be on the wine down.
Yeah, and he went to the doctor. He's fit as a fiddle.
Drinking the fruits.
I'm gonna have some more of this. That needs to open itself up.
All right, please enjoy.
J Folk.
J Folk in the house.
J Folk in the house. So we had planned on having someone on tonight.
We still might.
But being an entrepreneur,
it's tough out there.
It's hard out there for a pimp.
Absolutely. So.
This wine is very good.
The wine is hitting. Let's see what she's tasting.
The wine is hitting. I will tell you that. The wine is hitting. So, Just a reminder, you can get all of this wine at sipsay.com. Please make sure to use the code TheWineDown. You'll get 15% off. And I mean, that's a deal you can't beat. That's a deal you can't beat.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat that with a 10-foot pole.
Not sure where anyone gets this 10-foot pole.
I actually just found out what that means.
Really?
I did today. Today. I was watching a video, as I often do, on TikTok. And someone was saying that what happens is in New Orleans, they have above ground crypts. And how it works is, like, before you get put into, like, your family's crypt, they would put your body into, like, a wall. And in a year and a day, they would, like, take what's out with a 10-foot pole. And they would move it into the crypt. But they would use the same pole. Let's say, like, I died, and then 4 months later, you died, and we had the same, we were going to the same crypt. But I was in there first, but I hadn't quite, they wouldn't open it up.
Yeah. This is fascinating.
Yeah. But they would move me over.
Oh.
With a 10-foot pole.
Thank God for that 10-foot pole.
So that's where I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole comes from.
Very interesting.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Have you tried to bring an 8-foot pole out of Home Depot? It's impossible. A piece of wood, it's like...
You don't use
it's not working.
They have their special...
Not for an 8-foot one. You're busy cutting people's knees off. You got to hold it on your shoulder and hope you don't smack someone's head off.
You don't strike me as a Home Depot guy, but I'm glad to know this.
Oh, that's the place right there.
I got to get stormed.
Some people go to Lowe's. I look at them funny.
So during this, we had like it's been a crazy weather week, couple weeks, and we had this crazy storm one night with so much wind, and the flashing on the side of my house came off and was hitting my bedroom window. And my husband, who is a genius and a wonderful
you went out in that rain.
No, it was a wonderful forensic accountant. Of course I had him go out and take a look at what's wrong, and it was the flashing. My husband, he is great at so many things. He is not handy. I still have pictures that need to be hung up in my house. I have a coat rack I've been wanting up for a very long time. These things are not getting done. But in the middle of the storm, he goes, "Do you want me to get on a ladder and try to hammer that flashing back in?" And I was like, "Hold on. Let me call the funeral home first.
See if they have any openings.
Let me make sure they have openings." I was like, "I don't want you on a ladder in the middle of the day, let alone at night during like a storm with high winds." There was like high wind advisory.
If only you had a 10-foot pole.
If only we had that 10-foot pole. It's just,
lost opportunity.
It is a lost opportunity. We also have some birthdays coming up that we have to celebrate. We have so many birthdays. We have, today is Lauren Budd's birthday, our friend and friend of the show.
Happy birthday,
Lauren. Happy birthday, Lauren Budd. Gabby's birthday is coming up.
Happy birthday, Gabby.
Happy birthday, my Gabby. And Chris, my friend Chris's birthday is the 19th.
Happy birthday, Chris.
And he's amazing. And guess whose birthday is the 26th of April?
I thought you were going to say on the 20th of April, but let's go to the 26th of April.
The 20th of April is Hitler.
Yes.
The 26th
of April
is Claire.
Happy birthday to Claire out there in podcast land.
In podcast world. So for those of you who do not know Claire, she was on a previous podcast that I was on. She'd be a special guest. She is so busy right now that she just does not have the time to come on between all of her teaching and everything else that she does. She's just the ultra professional, but she's my best friend. So when we were at that wedding, we actually held hands during the...
Oh, that's
when
sweet.
They were saying I do.
I'll drink to that.
And she made me say the vows with her, and we're in the wedding party, so we're doing this like in front of everybody. Because that's how we roll. And so technically, she says, Claire told me later, she's like, we're married in the eyes of God.
Okay.
And then David said we're going to jail.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So he can't see the bigger picture.
He can't. There's such a big picture here. And it's like exciting to me and wonderful. But yeah, we went to a wedding together. And this April is just like full of my greatest friends. You're in August.
Yep.
You're in August. And my other friend Nicole's in December. But everybody else is in April.
All right, looks like
it's a great month.
It's a great month for everybody here in this April.
Spring has sprung. I've got the bunnies in the yard.
Spring has sprung. The bunnies are all over the place.
Yard. Worried about mice. In the house still because I found something.
Sometimes the rain will bring them in.
I found something questionable in a cabinet that has a hole in the back to allow like a pipe to come up. And I had like a Christmas tree made out of Hershey Kisses. And I thought, It had little bites out of it, and it looked like a mouse did it. And my mother asked my husband. My husband goes, "Oh, that was Jennifer." Like as if I would hold this Christmas tree and eat it like a corn on the cob, like one bit at a time. He was like, "Oh no, that's Jennifer," and I'm like, "Who do you think I am? That I would like with the wrap, like with the aluminum still on it, like with the foil. I would just like, that's how I eat chocolate." My husband's like, "Oh yeah, that's my wife."
I had the little mice a few years ago, and
I can't. I have exterminators.
exterminator came, but the cats at the time were on it
Yeah.
and would do right. So now I have a little kitten in the house. So
Chloe?
we'll see if Zoe has
Zoe,
the ability to catch a mouse if that should come to that. She's quick-witted.
I don't know if I've just been blind my whole life, but I didn't see mice in my parents' house. I haven't seen a mouse in my house either. And I do have exterminators just in case. Nor have I seen like mouse droppings or anything like that.
That's good.
But I get freaked out. I get scared. There was a bumblebee outside my house today. That happened.
Well, that's the time of year that it is.
It's terrifying.
The bees are coming.
They're coming, and it was definitely like a pollinating bee. It was like going around the flowers and trying to smoke a cigarette and hang out.
I met someone the other day that raises bees, and hopefully we'll have him on a future show because
so
a fascinating gentleman of someone who goes into chimneys and frees the bees so your house can be bee free.
Growing up,
make some honey.
Make some honey.
Make some honey.
We were talking about
I say cheddar, but I guess he says honey.
He says honey's better. We were just talking about local markets. You bring me to a local market, show me that.
Going straight to the honey.
I'm going straight to the honey. I want that local honey. And I heard it's a myth, but apparently if you have local honey, it'll like help you with your allergies. So I would like use
you
that
gotta snort it, right?
Yeah. Boof it.
That's the way to do it.
You gotta straight boof it. You gotta boof that honey, and then
coat your nose so your allergies.
You won't have the my eyes water a lot, but they won't if I boof the honey, I guess.
Absolutely, smear some on your eyes. I hear it's good for that.
It is good for that, but yeah. So I actually knew a beekeeper growing up, and he was blind. Like he wasn't blind at the beginning of his beekeeping life.
It didn't have to do with the bees, did it?
No, maybe. But he was really old, so maybe. I don't know. He was a cool guy. And he lived a couple blocks from us, and he had bees, and he had, like, the whole bee regala and, like, the thing with this, and he would be covered in bees, and my dad would be like, "Oh, my God, don't move." And he'd be like, "Bees are my friends." And it's like, are you blind and just don't know that you're covered in bees? Anyway.
Probably has names for each and every one of them.
He probably knew every single one of them. They went and, unfortunately, he passed. They went to sell his house, and my dad was in the basement, and apparently they didn't know where these bees had gone because they were not in like the boxes anymore.
Buried with him.
They all went into the basement, into the walls. And my dad, all of a sudden, like he said, he heard this like horrible bzzz, and they like came out into the basement and he ran. Meanwhile, I like threw a party because we had like
that's a good horror story.
I threw a party in that house and didn't see any of that. So
they were probably slightly intoxicated for the party.
They're like, "Oh,
let's let her have her fun. We don't mind this alcohol."
But that alcohol at that time was probably like Old English 40s, Mad Dog.
Hey, kept the bees away.
Kept the bees away. You want do yourself a favor. Keep the bees away. Go to sipsay.com and use the code TheWineDown.
You can definitely keep the bees away.
Keep the bees away. It's important. The higher the proof of vodka, the more they keep away, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, also, guys, thank you so much. We're almost at 5K fans and followers.
Thank you, fans and followers.
Thank you
Thank you for drinking with us.
Thank you mostly to like Thailand, but we'll take it. A number's a number, and a number's a number, and a fan's a fan. But at 5K, maybe we'll do some special giveaways. I was coming up with some things in my head. We could have a special episode. Who knows?
A little bit of wine on that episode.
I have a feeling. I had a feeling. I did good.
Yeah, listen, we koshered it up today, so...
So Passover, like, what did your family have any traditions that they do at Passover?
There's a little reading of the story or the history of Passover so everyone can remember what it is. Although if you asked me about it, I don't know what it is, but I'm waiting for the doctor to get back to me on that.
Oh, so you did kind of remember.
Don't remember what they said.
No one knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
So it's a little story of the history of Passover.
Okay.
There's pointing to different foods that you're going to eat, and then little tastes of those foods.
Is this the like honey and then the apple?
No.
Oh.
That's the New Year.
You know, I got in trouble because of that.
Too much honey or too much?
No, because they had out like a plate and it had all the things on it, and I assumed it's an appetizer because I'm a Goyen Mishkite. And I went up and I ate the apples.
This is horseradish. You'll know if you eat the wrong plate.
But apparently it was like part of their. They were gonna have like a tradition, and I was like, I ate all your apples.
It's good to eat all the apples. But no, there's more. There is an apple walnut wine, Manischewitz wine thing, cinnamon thing happening called Horosis.
That sounds like it
sounds
contagious.
terrible.
Yeah,
100%.
it's like a rash. That's
yeah,
a rash.
right. But it tastes good.
Horosis?
And you'll taste it. It's a very traditional, yummy dish.
I'm excited. As you know, I did the bingo for Purim.
Yeah, sure.
And so, like...
That's why you've been so like, I need to experience Passover. And I'm like, I got you, girl.
I am from Merrick. I'm not, you know, not new.
Oh.
I'm not new.
Okay, got it.
I know a little bit. Enough to get by.
Enough to get invited to Purim.
Oh, hey! Did that Purim. Now I'm going to Passover. Where will Jen end up next? Who knows? Maybe on my, like, wedding...
I don't know if there's a third piece, so I don't know what ends up next.
Well, maybe on my, like, wedding revows, I'll, like, break a glass and jump a broom. I'm just going to do it all. My husband would not let me do either of those things at our wedding.
That seems unsafe.
He's just not.
He's just not as adventurous.
He's not as fun as I am. Not as fun as I am. But yeah, very, very exciting times for us.
Yeah, it's spring and summer and lots of good times here on the Wine Down. Lots of good guests.
Not tonight.
That are set up to go, and
not everything goes as planned, but we always have a good time, and I think that's what's important.
It's a stormy night tonight. I didn't want to be here, but here we are.
That's true. It was really gross out, but we made it happen, and we'll always make it happen.
We'll always make it happen, whether it's a Thursday or a Monday or
an earthquake,
any other day in between, an eclipse.
We'll handle it.
Easter's. Passovers.
Like they say, yo, you got a problem, I'll solve it.
That's right. You got a problem, wine will solve it.
Just let that lay out. Let it lay out. Yeah, so I don't know. The news lately has been really lackluster. There's not really a lot going on that I care about. What about you? Anything really sticking out? Because OJ died. My friend Katie told me right away. OJ said. I was like, oof, it's terrible. Oof. But I bet the price of Broncos are going through the roof. We have such exciting news for you guys.
You gonna do it? 10 minutes?
Let's do it. 10 minutes. All right. Our guest actually is here. Her name is Seema, and Bobby, if you want to roll clip, we'll get her on up here.
Drives the camera crazy. I think she knows it. There ain't no one above her, and she ain't afraid to own it. The glitz and glamour slay me, but is it hopeless? This goddess of a woman really gets the people going.
All right, everybody, welcome, Seema. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
We knew the storm and the rain took a lot to get people out tonight. So nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Well, we don't have much time left. So...
I want to get it all in because Seema does so much. She is an entrepreneur and a business owner. She, I don't even know where to start with what you do. I was looking over everything and I was like, this is too much. It looks like you do nutrition. You actually made your own nutrition bar. You tell me. Don't let me tell you.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about everything you do because it's impressive.
I love it. So I am a certified health and life coach. What it means to be a health coach is you have to know about life in order to be a health coach. It goes hand in hand. I did get my certification in Dallas, which was the coolest thing ever. I got to meet real cowboys, real cowgirls, and it was my first time in Texas, so it was kind of cool. What does it mean to be a health coach? What's the difference between a health coach and a nutritionist, right? So nutritionist only deals with nutrition, diet, excuse me, a menu. A health coach needs to set your life in order for you to create good habits, in order to maintain a healthy lifestyle, healthy weight. If and I like to call it a wheel. So if there's something broken in your financial, then it leads to bad, poor eating habits, as well as bad love life. And vice versa, like turn the wheel around. If something's wrong in your love life, you're gonna binge, you're gonna not eat, whatever it is, and then you're not gonna even want to go to work. So it's hand in hand. I have tools that deals with how to create a healthy life. And it starts with setting your personal goals, right? So your personal goals is envisioning your end results and getting there. So your end result, you may want to say, yeah, you know what? I want to be married in 2 years, right? I'm divorced, but I'm talking about myself now.
Sure.
But like, let's say I want to say, I want to be married in 2 years. I want to maintain my weight. And I want to travel the world. That is my end result. It's printed. It's in my journal. It's in my life. But I also do mental rehearsal in order to achieve that. So what is mental rehearsal? Mental rehearsal is actually, athletes do mental rehearsal like before they go into marathons or even Olympics. That's where it started. And I do it now with the executives. I'm at the MTA and I love it. I have my program every Monday where we do mental rehearsal. We have our journals, we write, we do vision boards. But mental rehearsal is actually envisioning your life, right? So you see your end results, whatever your life may be, and how are you going to get there? That's creating your new habits. So I have my certifications in mastering new habits. So I know how to actually do tapping. It's a lot to it. People think that they can just read about it and do it. No, there's a lot of tapping. You got to tap into certain areas to create new habits. It takes 30 days to create a habit. That actually, by the day 31, I call it 28 because that's when the sabotage
How many days
starts.
to break it?
28 days.
It's like that zombie movie, 28 days later.
It starts tricking you. Your mind starts tricking you. So that's where you need a health and life coach. And thank you so much for having me. I cannot believe how amazing this place is. It's
Yes.
so
Yeah,
cool.
listen, we have a cool little
Yeah.
studio
Really
here. We'll
so
get to that in a
cool.
little bit.
Yeah.
We got
Paradise
a
Studios
little bit of
is very
time
cool.
here.
But I love the way that you say basically everyone talks about like manifesting.
Yes.
And this rehearsal that you do. And you said to set a goal. How far out do you think is reasonable to set a goal and then kind of start trying to achieve that? Because everyone always says, do your vision boards, do this, but like, what's a good timeline to work with?
I love that question actually, and that's a very good question when it comes to health coaching. And actually, someone very famous asked me that question, and it's Oscar De La Renta when I was a buyer.
I often get compared to Oscar De La Renta.
Yes, that is true.
So that's interesting.
That's funny.
I love his dresses, but anyway, all I want to do is work for him. So when I was at Bergdorf Goodman, he called me for a luncheon, and I was very excited. And he said to me, where do you see yourself in 10 years from now? Now, mind you, I'm 23 years old at this point. So I said to him.
This was last week.
I love you. I love you. But I said probably the wrong answer for Oscar, but the right answer for me, because I manifested it and I had it. I said I want to have all my kids by the time I'm 33, which I did. I had all my 3 kids before I was 33. And I said to him, and I want to be married. And he looked at me, he's like, you do realize basically that you're in the fashion industry. Wrong answer by me. So because I'm such an honest person, I told him the wrong answer, but that was my manifestation. That's where I wanted to be, and I did it. And I managed to have a career and kids. I mean, I left when I had my my first kid, but I went back, and that's when I started writing. I wrote my books while I was at home. I wanted to feel what it's like to be a mom, like hands-on. I gave up a great career, but I wrote books instead.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So what were you doing at that
I
time?
love your
you were-
lipstick.
Oh, thank you. It's Gucci.
Ooh,
So of course you
it's
like
Gucci.
it. Yeah, of course you like.
Of course it's
So
Gucci.
you
Little
don't-
bougie
the
here
first-
on the wine
yeah,
down.
You think I'm bougie? The first time I met Seema, she had a Birkin.
Today I have Chanel.
Yeah, today she has Chanel. So right away, best friends. I'm like, this girl knows what's up.
I earned my money.
So you were
That's it.
and it feels so much better, doesn't it? It feels
Yes, it
so
does.
much better.
Yes,
So
it
you were
does.
23 meeting Oscar
Oscar.
de la Renta. Where were you at 23? How did you get that? How did you make that opportunity for yourself?
Okay, that's a very good question. So I like to stand out because so if we're going to be honest, when I was little, I didn't stand out. I was bullied. So I know people look at me today and they don't think I can cry. But when I came to America, I was bullied by jealous girls. And they picked on my fault. So my fault was like I had an accent. But I spoke 4 languages. I didn't shine. So with that said, when I finally found my voice and I realized my potentials and what I can do, I don't let anybody come in my way anymore. I put them in their place if something is trying to be taken away from me or so I learned through life, through my parents. I had the best parents that I have to stand up for myself and all my potential. They were uplifters, and there was nothing that I
Drink to that right
uplifters,
there. Whoa,
uplifters,
yeah, let's get the
uplifting.
happiness back in this room.
No, but-
uplifters. They were uplifters. So, with that said, when I was at the buying office, and you know how I got the job at the buying office, that was really, really cool. My friend told me to go. She was friends with a recruiter. Recruiter was on a leave of absence because she was pregnant. So I went in anyway. I didn't care. And I said, I really want my interview, please. And they said, you know what? The fact that you walked in, we're going to give you your interview. I did my interview in French.
Oh.
And it was game over. It was game over. And they said, you're hired. 6 months later, I was at the executive training program.
Ooh.
Oscar de la Renta came to the store while I was merchandising, and he said, hey, would you like to come to a lunch next week? And I said, yeah. I blew my chances because I told him that I want to
She
be married
wanted to
with
be
children.
a mom,
But it's okay.
yeah.
It's okay because everything...
Just to have that experience.
Sometimes you gotta lie.
Yeah.
Note to everybody, sometimes lie.
Pinocchio.
I think it worked out well though because she has an amazing business. Obviously, she's
you.
amazingly successful.
How
And
can we find you?
So you can find me on Art of Your Body 23. Chris, this man that does great, amazing website, is still working on my website.
All right.
And
you have an Instagram.
I have an Instagram, Art of Your Body 23. And also, if you ever want to reach out, my information is on Art of the Body 23. And I can give you a little bit of tips about anything and everything, actually.
And you got to feel the vibes from her because I absolutely 100% believe it. Like whatever she tells me to do right now, I'm telling you I'm doing it.
Thank you.
And it's a problem to trust someone that blindly you
Manifest
just
more
met.
wine.
Yeah, I am gonna manifest a little more
A
wine.
little bit more wine. Manifest a little bit more wine. You can
It's actually
manifest it at
delicious. What is it?
sipsay.com.
Which
So
one
good.
did you give her?
You're drinking a Pinotage from South Africa.
Oh, I just finished off the South African Pinot
That's all right. That's what we do here on the Wine
the
Town. We
land of the
finish
drum.
things off and
It's so good.
bring it on back to the drinking.
So I can't believe. So being a life coach, the way that you're explaining, so you have to basically, you come into someone's life and you're like, all right,
I'm coaching this bitch.
I'm organizing you. I'm
organizing.
organizing
I like
you.
that
And I'm
word.
prioritizing you and
Correct.
changing things.
Correct.
I can't imagine. Ooh, I'm getting chills just thinking about it because I couldn't imagine someone. You need you to be that.
Yes.
Because someone that wasn't her that tried to do that for like anyone, I would be like, get away from me. Like, this is too much. It's too scary. But
Thank you.
your vibe is so calming. So I really recommend, and like I said, I don't know her very long. I really recommend reaching out. Art of Your Body 23 at Art of Your Body 23 on Instagram. It is also going to be on our Facebook. We're going to share it. I really want you guys to reach out to her because we've only had her for 10 minutes and already I'm like, I'm like, okay, so 2 years from now, I'm gonna be driving like this car. and this is
what
what
kind of
Yeah.
I like
Let's
to
do it.
I like to keep middle ground. It's gonna be a Lincoln Aviator, but you
Ooh.
know, I don't want to be too flashy. I don't want to get pulled over.
Okay, you're flipping me out right now.
Why?
Is that what
My
you pulled up in?
father drove Lincolns only every year.
There you go.
And,
See,
and he
there's the
always comes to
connection.
me when I do some cool things. And I
That's
so
it.
there you
Hopefully
go.
he was a wine drinker too, because you can pick up this wine at sipsay.com or Sip and Say Craft Wine and Spirits. You can use the wine down for 15% off your order and come on by.
Well, thank you
Thank
guys
you
for
so
joining
much.
us, and thank you,
Cheers.
Seema, for stopping by.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
everybody.
Cheers. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Thirsty Thursdays.
It is so good. Oh, Thirsty Thursday.